It all starts up front. The offensive line, big physical unit for Syracuse, but they have not seen a group of pass rushers like these Clemson Tigers, and that's going to be a key matchup to look out for. Clemson is going to come in with a game plan to stop Sean Tucker in the run game, just as every team seemingly does. And Syracuse just can't let that happen this week. They need to get it going on the ground because it's going to open up so much else in the offense, specifically the passing game. Garrett Schrader has a great rapport going with Rondé Gadsden, who has been a matchup nightmare. Getting an athlete like Donnie Freeman, who can really be versatile in any of those defenses, I think he's going to be a huge help. Syracuse could use all the help on the boards they could get, and I think he's certainly going to fit that role. 6'9", long, athletic, going to be a big asset for the Orange on the defensive end. Dino Babers thinks that Devin Leary is going to find a way to be out there on Saturday. However, they have to prepare for both Leary and backup quarterback Jack Chambers. And this is a challenge, not because it's two different quarterbacks, but it's two very different styles of quarterback. You look at a guy like Leary, he can challenge downfield, has a strong arm, and then Chambers, more of a dual threat guy, more likely to take off, probably see more RPOs there. Syracuse basketball recruit spotlight. Elijah Moore, the 2024 shooting guard from Cardinal Hayes in the Bronx, New York, committed to the Orange back in late January. One of the best shooters in his class, great mechanics, doesn't need much separation to comfortably get his shot off, has the requisite athleticism and skill set to improve as a playmaker. Syracuse football recruiting continues on a blistering pace in June, having picked up 12 commitments over the course of the month and 4 in the last 2 days. One name I would look out for, Naheem McLeod, the 7'4" transfer from Florida State, recently took his official visit to Syracuse. I spoke with him the other day. He said Syracuse is probably going to make his top 5. He thought he could be the perfect fit, exactly what that roster needs to have a big turnaround season. But yeah, certainly looking to add a big for Syracuse. Naheem McLeod would be the #1 name I would look out for now. As for the Syracuse defense, this is a unit playing at a very high level this season. They call themselves the Mob, and it's well-deserved because they've been all over opposing offenses this season. They rank first in the ACC in scoring defense, first in yards per game, first in opponents' pass yards per game, and just trailing the Clemson Tigers in opponent rush yards per game. Jim Boeheim's tenure as head coach of Syracuse men's basketball has come to a close after first arriving on campus 60 years ago as an undergrad and serving as head coach of the basketball team for the last 47 seasons. His resume speaks for itself. 1,015 career wins, second in Division I history, only behind Coach K. Led Syracuse to the national championship in 2003. All starts with the linebackers, looking specifically at the duo of Michael Jones and Marlowe Wax, two high-energy, high-IQ linebackers. Both have already earned ACC Linebacker of the Week honors so far this season. And then also I have to point out these two cornerbacks, Garrett Williams and Deuce Chestnut. They pride themselves on being shutdown corners, so I think it's going to be an interesting matchup, the NC State pass attack against those two corners. Syracuse basketball wasting no time early in the offseason, making a splash in the transfer portal after picking up a commitment from Notre Dame transfer guard J.J. Starling. Starling is a high potential prospect, currently the #1 player in the 247Sports transfer rankings. Benny Williams will return to Syracuse men's basketball for his junior year. This is a big win for the Orange as they look to build the roster for next season. I mean, Red Autry has made a statement so far in his tenure as head coach of Syracuse Orange. He has come right in, got right on the recruiting trail, kept Jerry McNamara and Alan Griffin on his staff, and then added Brendan Strawn, a guy who was known for being able to scout talent and known for his connections in Washington, D.C. and the DMV area. He's no doubt going to have a huge impact there. And priority #1 was Donnie Freeman, was able to lock him up, and that is a huge commitment for Syracuse. Definitely a versatile player, a guy who has plenty of room to grow. So a big first commitment for Red Autry as head coach of the Orange. Syracuse men's basketball makes another splash in the transfer portal, landing a commitment from Auburn transfer guard Chance Westry. Westry redshirted his freshman season at Auburn after undergoing surgery on his knee back in October. A very impressive prospect coming out of high school in 2022. The 44th overall ranked player, 14th at his position, and 4th in the state of Arizona. Amidst the frenzy of transfer portal and recruiting, Syracuse football will have two familiar faces back for next season. Linebacker Marlowe Wax and defensive lineman Caleb Okechukwu both announced that they will return to the Orange in 2023. Syracuse has already overachieved based on preseason expectations, surpassed the preseason win total. They're undefeated in conference play, even though they were picked to finish last in the division. However, this team is not resting on its laurels whatsoever. They want to go in there, compete, and get the victory in Death Valley. But they know it's going to be a tall task. Dino Babers in his press conference referenced the 37-game home win streak that Clemson has. Syracuse starting quarterback Garrett Schrader out for spring practices after undergoing a successful procedure to his right arm. This now gives other quarterbacks the opportunities to get repetitions with the starting offense. First off, Carlos Del Rio Wilson, transferred in from Florida last year, was the backup to Schrader throughout the 2022 season. Got the start against Pittsburgh and took over for Schrader in the Notre Dame game at halftime. Is a dual threat guy that showed a lot of flashes last year, looking to build off that campaign in 2023.